Ladies and gentlemen, today on the Montreal Canadiens Vintage Sports File, we're going to talk about one of the top players ever to come out of a region close to my home area of the North Shore, Murdochville, Quebec. Murdochville, Quebec has produced a lot of great athletes, entertainers, great civic leaders, but one of them stands out for being probably one of the better players with the Minnesota North Stars in their expansion years between 68 and 75. Of course, we're going to talk about Jude Drouin. Now, Jude Drouin was born October 28, 1948 in Murdochville, but raised in Mont-Louis. Now, as a youth, Drouin had a great love of hockey, and occurred to many he was going to be a great prospect, as he played a big part on Murdochville's team at the 1961 Quebec International Pee Wee Hockey Tournament. Now, these early years led to a great career with the Montreal Junior Canadiens of the OHA. He scored 32 goals and 36 assists in 47 games in the 67 season. Now, Montreal decided to take a chance on the youngster. He only had 1 year of major junior and took him 17 overall in that great 1967 draft. Now, after he graduated from Junior Canadiens, he was sent to Montreal's main affiliate, the Houston Apollos. First season with Houston, he had 22 goals and 60 points in 68 games. He later went on to a second season with Houston, scoring 23 goals, and was part of the regular season lineup of Montreal's Stanley Cup winning team in 68-69. He had 1 point in 9 games. Now, the 1970 season saw him in the minors again. He played almost a full season with the Montreal Voyageurs, but broke the 100-point mark with 37 goals and 69 assists for 106 points in 65 games, with 6 assists in the playoff. Now, he won the Dudley Red Garrett Memorial Award for the league's Rookie of the Year, and of course led the AHL in scoring. Now, like every young prospect in Montreal, we talked about all the great players. Was no place for him in the powerful lineup. So Drouin was traded to the Minnesota North Stars for the 1971 season, and ironically, that year, he's a rookie year in the NHL. He got 68 points and played his former team in the semifinals. And Minnesota at the time had their own French connection, ladies and gentlemen. It was Drouin and J.P. Parise, which was eventually a big Team Canada player. And Drouin and Parise, besides Bill Goldsworthy, were considered the team's top 3 stars. He excelled with the Stars for nearly 5 seasons. He had a career year in 1973 with 27 goals and 46 assists for 73 points. At the time, 27 goals was a big total. Now, the 75 season, he looked like he was needing a change of pace. He was traded to the New York Islanders when he helped the team's vaunted offense, because Trottier, Bossy, Gillies weren't really formed as the leaders of the team, but the Islanders were starting to compete against the Montreal Canadiens in the regular season and the playoffs. And 77-78 was a great year for Drouin, because that's the year that he almost took Montreal to 7 games in the semifinals. And he scored 24 goals in the regular season and 11 points in 12 games in the playoffs. Now, his time with the Islanders was controversy as well. His production dropped quite a bit in the 1978 season, and he became kind of mad with his declining role with the Islanders. He decided, and what was very ironic at the time, he sat out a whole season in order to become a free agent, and he signed with the Winnipeg Jets right after, but the year off really hurt his production. He only had 24 points in 1980, and after 7 goals in 1981, he decided to make it a career. But some impressive totals, ladies and gentlemen. He played in more than 700 regular season playoff games, with 151 goals, 305 assists for 456 points in the regular season, and almost a point a game pace in the playoffs. and he was putting up some impressive totals for the Islanders in these seasons with New York. He was almost at a point-a-game pace in the playoffs, and he finished with 72 games, 27 goals and 41 assists for 68 points, and a minuscule 33 minutes in the sin bin. Like he used to gain a lot of penalty time in the regular season when it came to the playoffs. But with Drouin and Parise, especially in 1971, no one expected Minnesota to do that well against Montreal. And we all remember that Game 6, Minnesota allegedly tied the game in Game 6. It was supposed to be overtime, but the game tying goal was scored after the end of game light came on. But Jude Drouin is always going to be close to the heart of people from the Gaspé Coast, people who believe in a hard work ethic of those type of players from the small mining towns. You probably already know this. Monarchville was a big Indian Aranda situation. It was always a company town, and he was a company player. Every team he played with, I remember René Lecavalier saying Drouin was a good fit with any team because he was good on the ice, on the bench, in the dressing room. And, you must say this, he was playing with two of the most underrated squads of his era, which is the 71 Stars, and again, that 1977 Islanders team, because if they would have had 3, 4 or more players, they would have really took it to the Montreal Canadiens, might have pushed it to 7. We all remember he played a big part in that Game 5 victory in Montreal, where it was a shocking result for the Habs, because back then in the playoffs they would rarely lose a game, and that year you only lost 8 games in the regular season and lost 2 to the Islanders in the playoffs. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's COVID Saturday. We wish you happy days. Keep your stick in the ice, and we'll see you later. Bye.